Hello everyone and welcome back to the chassis variant series. Myself, Crystal Rocket. Here we are with the first of the Dervish videos, although YouTube probably won't upload them correctly, so this could be the second or the third one, so who the hell knows. We are with the Dervish 6MR. The lowercase r stands for refit, which means it's used by... I'm not quite sure, to be honest. It was a jihad era variant, apparently. It's interesting when PGI dip into the jihad era when the game's timeline currently isn't the jihad era, it's the Civil War era. So yeah, it's always interesting when they go there. I guess when needs must and you have to find variants. And to be fair, there aren't a lot of Dervish variants out there. The only one that they didn't put into the game was one that has MML launchers, which is basically an Innisphere version of the ATM system used by the clans. So yeah, this is a refit in a very simple sense. They removed the two SRM2 launchers from the paddle-like arms, and they replaced them with two medium pulse lasers instead, which definitely ups the damage output, but also increases the heat significantly. It means that the mech trades off. Probably gains, I think it gains a little bit more armor in place as well, and I think a heat sink or two, but it's not a huge difference. What is interesting about this one is that outside of those SRM changes, it runs pretty much the same as the standard 6M, which isn't a bad thing. MechWarrior Online, this can do a fair amount of damage, and as you may have noticed, it's the Glorious Domination theme. I'll admit, I worked to get wins for this one, because I thought this will probably be the last new mech chassis videos that I do for a while. So I thought, hell, I'll go for it. I'll work to get the chassis series. These are all recorded on patch day as well, so these weren't recorded after the fact. Usually I'll do the chassis vids on the weekend after the new mechs come out on the Tuesday, but this one I got them all done in one session, so I was quite happy with that. It's a stress-free having to worry about doing the stream on the Friday and then immediately trying to get the recordings done immediately thereafter. So it's quite good. As a stock build then, the medium pulses and medium lasers are, yeah, straightforward. It's pretty simple. Pretty much all the Dervish builds work with a 3-weapon group setup. This is no different. Heat management isn't too bad. As I said, it can get a bit toasty, especially on a map like HPG, where you're not quite sure if you're going to be able to keep the heat under control, especially when you start NASCARing like crazy around the central point here. This one I kept as well this round because it was one where I encountered someone else who was running a stock build. And not only was it a stock mech, it was a stock Dervish. I had to keep the fight between me and this fellow stocker, as I've just decided that's the name. It doesn't sound very good. It sounds kind of belittling, to be honest, but yeah, that's what I've come up with. Let's see if that one sticks. Probably will now. Satan's Pooper is going to do that one. So yeah, me and him, we were fighting like men, and you'll see what happens. You'll see what happens there. It was fun for that reason. Obviously this one is a bit more on the energy side of things compared to the missile side of things, so if you do like having a speedy energy boat, this is definitely the variant of the Dervish that will work best for you. Obviously there's no ballistics variants of it, which is strange because usually PGI will make up a variant to allow that, but it's this weird thing where PGI always felt like, oh, every mech has to have every weapon system available to it, so we'll make up variants, and I think that somewhat robbed some of the mechs of a unique element. You know, when you've got mechs in every weight category doing the exact same job as all the other mechs, it comes to that problem where you just don't have much, do you? You start to run out of new mechs to introduce because, hey, I can build it with this mech, you know, that kind of thing. So it's only hastened the demise of the new mech packs as they've been released. And the Dervish, as I said, these were all being recorded on the patch day, and the first match, which was the 6M I did, I was the only Dervish in that match. This one had, I think, 2 on the enemy team and myself. And for patch day, I remember when new mechs were coming out, and you'd get about half of your team and maybe half of the enemy team. So at least 12 of the mechs would be the new one, because people would be testing it out. They'd be, trying new builds, seeing what they can do with it, and that steady decline has been apparent as years have gone by. Here we go. This, oh, by the way, this was the fight. and immediately gets ruined, gets dunked on. As a filthy teammate coming along and helping him. It sucked. I was really enjoying that fight, and this bloody linebacker comes out of nowhere and just ruins the whole thing with his splat build. It's not even a linebacker. Just a load of SRM. It's just a 65-ton friggin' javelin. That's what that is. Anyway, yeah, so it don't end well for me. Overall, though, I do recommend the 6MR. I like it as a stock build. You can mess around with it a bit, get a little bit more armor on there, which I recommend with all the Dervish. One of the problems with the mech is that it does live up to the being under-armoured. Up-gunned but under-armoured, that's the problem with the Dervish. Removing jump jets, if you're not really that big a user of them, will certainly help. I believe it will free up about 2.5 ton. So you can whack that into armour quite easily. And a bunch of these don't always come with the upgrades. For instance, the 6M doesn't, so that one was immediate candidate for double heat sinks, all the rest of it. Endo steel isn't as common on a lot of these builds. So yeah, you've got a lot of wiggle room with customization with all the Dervish builds. And obviously the big drawbacks with this thing is that most of its firepower is in its arms, so if you can shoot the arms off, it's pretty much only got its missile hardpoints left in the side torsos, and most custom builds probably are going to have SRMs in there, so it can still do some damage, but those arm mounts means it'll lose the weapons that don't require ammunition, which is an important thing to keep in mind, especially since a lot of Dervish actually don't have that much armor stock on their arms. I think they have a maximum of 36 points. If I remember correctly, 32 or 36 I think it's on the arm, so you always have to factor in that when you're going to alpha strike. Don't hit the side torso, hit the arm. Oh, was that the end? I think it was the end of the round. Yeah, I've tiny little preview window in this editor. So yeah, 6MR, that were a fun one. You also got to see the Steam screen there because I'd alt-tab and forgot to press shift to get rid of it, because it's friggin' annoying. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching everybody, hope you have a good week. Whatever order this one appeared on your feed, I do try to upload them in order, they never do, because YouTube's friggin' annoying. So yeah, have a good one. I'll leave you there I think, yeah, seems like a good one, bye.